All right, section 3 of 9, continuing on with these really brusque women who are standing in front of the scaffold. And now we're going to have a little dialogue between these women and kind of see how really rough these people are. All right, so the first woman says, "Good wives," said a hard-featured dame of 50, "I'll tell ye a piece of my mind. It would be greatly for the public behoof if we women, being of mature age and church members in good repute, should have the handling of such malefactresses as this Hester Prynne. What think ye, gossips, if the hussy stood up for judgment before us 5, that are now here in a knot together, would she come off with such a sentence as the worshipful Master Fate is awarded? Marry, I trow not." So here we see immediately how hypocritical this woman is, right? She's saying we are, mature. So she's saying we're smart, we're good, we understand, we understand the ways of this world, right? And then she's also saying we are good church people. However, here she's saying that, but if we were sentencing this person who is Hester Prynne, we would probably not give us such a sentence as the magistrate did, right? So immediately she's saying, like, hey, we're good church people, but I don't agree with what's going on, right? "People say," said another, "that the Reverend Master Dimsdale, her godly pastor, takes it very grievously to heart that such a scandal should have come upon his congregation. The magistrates are God-fearing gentlemen, but merciful over so much. That is a truth," added a third autumnal matron. "At the very least, they should have put the brand of a hot iron on Hester Prynne's forehead. Madame Hester would have winced at that, I warrant me. But she, the naughty baggage, little will she care what that they put on the bodice of her gown. Why, look at you. She may cover it with a brooch, or just like a heath anish abhorrent, and so walk the streets as brave as ever." So we see that this woman says, like, why don't they should have just branded her head with a letter and not do some kind of a garment, right? Because she could just cover it up. "Ah, but," interposed more softly a young wife, holding a child by the hand, "let her cover the mark as she will. The pang of it is always in her heart." So once again, as we talked earlier, is like how the younger generation is a little bit more softer in nature. And so this woman, she says, she's already felt the pain, right? So why should we make her feel a little bit worse? And then here we go with another lady here, older lady. "What do we talk of marks and brands, whether or the bodice of her gown or the flesh of her forehead?" cried another female, the ugliest as well as the most pitiless of the self-constituted judges. "This woman has brought shame upon us all and ought to die. Is there no law for it? Truly there is, both in the scriptures and the statute book. Then let the magistrates, who have made it of no effect, think themselves if their own wives and daughters go astray." And this woman saying, she should just die, right? We don't need to deal with this idea of labels and symbols, right? To cast shame on someone. Death is the ultimate punishment, not shame or the symbols of shame. "Mercy on us, good wife," explained a man in the crowd. "Is there no virtue in woman, save what springs from a wholesome fear of the gallows? That is the hardest word yet. Hush, now, gossips, for the lock is turning in the prison door, and here comes Mistress Prynne herself." And we're going to see a little bit, I give it to a man to like tell a woman what to do, right? I guess that's kind of, Hawthorne's way of whatever, but Hester Prynne's going to be a strong person here. We get a pretty bad picture of women in this opening scene, but the idea of the feminists, the women, is actually a very strong theme that runs throughout this book. So don't get all sexist and start hating Nathaniel Hawthorne and think he's a sexist pig. He's really quite not. Okay, so let's see what Hester is going to do when she comes out of the prison door.